What's up, everybody? Feed you information here. Hope everyone's having a great day today. And this is going to be my second video of the day, stock market news, Saturday, October 12th update. This is the 15th video for the series, and let's get into this. So we have 10 stocks rather than 5 like normal. Sony, Activision, Amazon, Intel, Tencent, Canopy Growth, Sailed Air, ExxonMobil, Nike, and AT&T. Stock number 1, Sony. All right. Sony is working hard to keep its image sensor supremacy. The company is planning to show off 2 new image sensors at the 2019 International Electronic Devices Meeting, or IEDM. That should have photographers excited. A 3-layer organic image sensor that will require no demo sizing and the world's first all PDF CMOS image sensor. You guys are going to have to Google some of this, but the video would be way longer if I Googled all of this. Anyways, according to Image Sensor World, both of the new sensors were briefly described in the IEDM 2019 program, which was published a few weeks early by accident. According to that program, Sony will be showing off several new sensors, including a quad Bayer half-inch 48 MP all PDAF CMOS chip and an organic 3-layer stack color image sensor. Sounds high-tech, doesn't it? All right, that is pretty much it, though. It's just a quick little article for you guys. Feel free to pause it and read some more if you like. But let's move on to Activision now. With 10 stocks, I feel I can cover more and not have to read a whole article, especially when a lot of it's just putting a bunch of letters based on what type of product it is. It has now been 3 full days since Blizzard stripped professional Hearthstone player Blitzchung of his winnings, banned him from competitive play, and fired the casters who covered his event after he expressed a pro-Hong Kong message on Steam. Let me just X that out real quick. In that time, Activision Blizzard has issued no public statement other than its initial ruling, quietly confirming that it would not ban an American collegiate Hearthstone team who held up a Hong Kong/boycott Blizzard sign at a different event. The team later said they would forfeit the next event in solidarity with Blitzchung, saying that there shouldn't be a double standard. Absolutely no one from Activision Blizzard is talking about this incident at all. I reached out to my Hearthstone contact, who was prompt to respond but offered no new statement from anyone over there. Activision Blizzard has a choice to make, and in its silence, it is making it. It can't reverse Blitzchung's ban and rehires the casters, which won't erase what it did initially, but it would show contrition for an obviously disproportionate ruling. Basically saying, even if you guys decide to do it, it may not look like the best, but it'll at least make you guys look better. Like, all right, we made a mistake and we're owning up to it. But instead, they're just not saying anything, acting like they were right, guys. However, given how high profile this event already has become, it may very well bring down the full wrath of China, which is what it was trying to avoid in the first place. It could risk a ban of Hearthstone or really all of its products, and this comes at a time when Activision is seeking Chinese approval for Call of Duty Mobile to expand into the market there. Because thanks to Tencent, they just started with that Call of Duty, a week and a half ago maybe? In short, Blizzard risks losing hundreds of millions in revenue from the Chinese market if they anger the government there, which is how we got into this mess in the first place. The second option is to wait it out. There are new controversies in video games every day, and by saying nothing, doing nothing, they are hoping this all just blows over. Which could be true, but I doubt it. That does not seem to be happening, however, as in the West, things are getting quite a bit worse every day. Famed Hearthstone player Brian Kibler has dropped out of casting the Grandmaster event at BlitzCon, citing Blizzard's recent actions. Disguised Toast, a former Hearthstone player, says he will start streaming the game again if Blizzard reverses course. But past players, sorry I keep messing up my words, guys, but past players, we have Tim Sweeney of Epic, where China's Tencent owns a huge share of his company, publicly saying that he would not have done what Blizzard did here in the interest of free speech. Someone asked him if, say, Fortnite streamer Tfue expressed pro-Hong Kong support in an interview, if any action would be taken against him, and Sweeney flat out said no. Which I can confirm, guys. I don't actively watch a lot of streamers, but they say some questionable things, and just because they're from the US or America, American companies are like, and that's kind of some double standard right there, so it shouldn't be like that. Anyways, we're on to Amazon next. This article is co-published with ProPublica, a nonprofit newsroom that investigates abuses of power, which Amazon loves to do. Amazon has abruptly canceled its contracts with 3 major delivery firms, a move that will put more than 2,000 people out of work and may signal a shift in how the online retail giant plans to deliver millions of packages to homes across the country every day. Impact Shipping Solutions, based in Atlanta, has told employment regulators in 6 states that it would lay off at least 925 employees beginning October 2nd and would cease all delivery services for Amazon by early December. Another contractor, Sherrod Lohman Transport, said in a court filing late last month that its Amazon's contract would not be renewed, a move that it called completely unexpected and a cause for serious concern, and that it said would lead to the firing of roughly 200 employees in 3 states. The firm, headquartered in Chicago, said it would cease delivery Amazon packages on September 30th. And a third company, San Diego-based Letter Ride LLC, told labor authorities in California and Texas that in early December it would begin laying off 897 drivers, dispatchers, and other employees. The contract termination follows recent investigations of fast-growing delivery network by BuzzFeed News and ProPublica, which focused on how the intense financial and deadline pressure Amazon puts on its growing fleet of independent delivery contractors can lead to worker mistreatment and threaten public safety. So basically, you have to have a package delivered every 10 minutes or something. That's why these drivers in these vans are speeding up the roads and getting into all these accidents, guys. In December 2016, a van driven by an Impact's employee hit and killed Telefora Escamilla. That's actually a name, guys. I don't know what kind of name that is. Not trying to disrespect the woman, but what kind of a name is that? An 84-year-old grandmother in Chicago. The driver was charged with reckless homicide, but ultimately acquitted. A civil suit brought by the family of the victim claims that Amazon put undue time pressure on Impacts and its drivers. The suit is pending and Amazon has denied responsibility, as every company that's done wrong does. Well, we told them this, yet in private they're like, you better hurry up. In June 2018, a 21-year-old Sherrod Lohman driver, Trayvon Hemingway, was killed when his van cut across several lanes of a freeway, also in Chicago, before crashing into a tractor trailer. Oh, man. The same month, Stacey Hayes Curry, a 61-year-old legal secretary, was run over by a letter ride driver delivering Amazon packages in the San Diego office park where she worked. The driver pleaded guilty for a misdemeanor charge of vehicle manslaughter. Curry's son, Tyler Hayes, said Amazon still needs to do more to make its delivery system safe. Quotation, I wish Amazon would prioritize worker and pedestrian safety as it contracts out these last-mile delivery companies, but I have yet to see any attempt at improving safety. Hayes said in an email, it seems to only want to hide behind third-party contractors as a way to escape responsibility, because all they care about is money. They don't care about people's lives. Amazon said in a statement, we work with a variety of carrier partners to get packages to Amazon customers, and we regularly evaluate our partnerships. We have ended our relationship with these companies, and drivers are being supported with opportunities to deliver packages with other local delivery service partners, so that way when they kill people, we can blame them. I'm sorry, guys, but I get how Amazon runs, so they're full of crap. As reported by BuzzFeed News and ProPublica, Amazon began building out a network of delivery firms in the U.S. in 2014 rather than hire its own drivers because Trump was telling them you need to stop screwing the post office. So Amazon was like, all right, well, we'll just go ahead and force drivers to go ahead and, work at ridiculous rates. Contractors such as Impact, Sherrod Lohman, and Letterride that in turn employ drivers. Though Amazon controls many aspects of delivery, down to providing turn-by-turn direction for drivers, it denies all liability when workers are exploited or people are hurt in crashes, leaving the contractor on the hook, which is exactly what happens when someone gets hurt on a ride with Lyft or Uber. Lyft and Uber is like, well, we can't take responsibility for that. Anyways, on to the next article, guys, before I lose my mind. Recent benchmark submission shows Intel's upcoming Core i3 will have hyper-threading. So, what is hyper-threading? Is a technology used by some Intel microprocessors that allows a single microprocessor to act like 2 separate processors to the operating system. and the application programs that use it. Now, how does it exactly work? So, when a thread on the core in question is stalling or in a halt state, hyperthreading enables the core to work on a second thread instead. So, think of a generator and then a backup generator. When power goes out, the generator goes down, the backup generator kicks up and keeps everything flowing. That's how I would describe it. All right, back to this. So, eagle-eyed Twitter user Tom Apisak spotted a new submission to the Psi software benchmark database that appears to show some performance details of Intel's upcoming Comet Lake Core i3-10100. The 4-core, 8-thread feature is most notable since only 2 years ago, you would have had to spend about $350 to get that kind of core count. The i3-10100 will launch at roughly $120 or about one-third that cost. The addition of hyperthreading to their i3 lineup is certainly a response to the success of Ryzen processors. AMD can offer more cores for less, and that has hurt Intel's market share. The chip on Psi-Soft's database is likely an engineering sample, so the actual specs and benchmark results may change by lunchtime. Currently, the chip is running at 3.6 GHz with 4 times 256 KB L2 Kachi and 6 MB of L3 Kachi. We don't know much about boost clocks, but other leaks have put it at 4.4 GHz for this chip. The Comet Lake platform will be built on Intel's 14nm++ lithography and will likely feature hyperthreading across the board. Rumors show the i5 variants having. You guys can go ahead and read those cores and threads, but either way, Comet Lake is expected to launch in early 2020. On to the next next article, I apologize. So, Tencent. TuneCore and CD Baby have both signed deals with Tencent Music Entertainment Group, which is the largest music streaming service in China, but Chinese distribution could be tricky for certain artists. So, what is a DIY music distributor or DIY artist? You've probably heard the phrase DIY, do it yourself. So, that's what it stands for, do it yourself, DIY. Just so you guys are like, wait, he keeps saying DIY, but what does that mean? So, TuneCore and CD Baby are among the largest DIY music distributors, with CD Baby now falling under the Downtown Music Publishing umbrella. The deal with Tencent, which serves hundreds of millions of users, gives DIY artists the ability to distribute their music not only to the indie and DIY networks of Tencent, but also to its subsidiaries and partners. No word on how artists will be censored in the massive country, though even mildly controversial artists may encounter problems. This is an entirely new terrain, though both distributors have undoubtedly prepared for some pushback from Tencent and the People's Republic of China. The Tencent umbrella covers a number of different sub-platforms when artists distribute their music to Tencent, which is one of the pioneers of music streaming in China. It becomes available on the following Chinese platforms: QQ Music. QQ Music is one of the top music services in China. They have a large library of both music and music-related videos. Their focus is on the artists and the songs that are popular with young Chinese, and they offer a platform that supports new releases of digital music as well as exclusive ones. They also try to promote interaction between artists and their fans. Kogou Music. Kogou is another one of the top music services in China. They focus on music that appeals to a mass market of people, and they offer a wealth of features as well as a significant number of users throughout the country. Kuwo Music. Kuwo is a music service that focuses on select music genres that appeals to a wide range of musical tastes. These genres include children's songs and DJ mixes. At the moment, the three services account for about 75% of all music streaming in China. Tracy Maddox, CEO of CD Baby, believes that the deal with Tencent provides do-it-yourself artists tremendous potential for being heard. Scott Ackerman, who is the CEO of TuneCore, echoed Maddox's words. He called the Chinese distribution deal with Tencent an opportunity for their music artists to expand their audiences and scale their income. Just awesome. Good for them. All right, Canopy Growth. We talked about Aurora Cannabis. I don't remember how many days ago, but I figured why not cover Canopy? And at some point, I'll probably cover Tilray this week. But anyways, Canadian cannabis giant Canopy Growth and a Nevada-based hemp producer are suing each other in rival federal cases over a bad crop and allegations of mispayments and misspent advances. The cases center on Go Farm Hemp, a Henderson, Nevada headquartered company that entered contracts to grow hemp in 2019 for Canopy Growth in Colorado, Kentucky, New York, and North Carolina. Go Farm started the legal action Tuesday when it filed a $1.9 million federal suit in New York accusing Smith Falls, Ontario-based Canopy of failing to pay some of the money it agreed to advance Go Farm Hemp for the crop. The same day, Canopy Growth filed its own lawsuit against Go Farm Hemp, accusing the U.S. hemp grower of an interstate fraud designed to cheat Canopy Growth out of money and hundreds of acres of valuable hemp seed. All right, guys. Now, I want you down in the comments section to let me know whose side you're taking here. Based on what Canopy says, I kind of got to go with Canopy, but I'm not really sure. But I really feel like Canopy has a strong argument here. They make a really good case. Of the 1,115 acres Canopy Growth contracted and paid for, maybe 275 acres were viable. So about 1/4, guys. Canopy said in its complaint against Go Farm Hemp and its founders, Paul Smith and Joe Sager. Both cases were filed before the U.S. District Court, Western District of New York. No dates have been set for resolving the claims. Representatives for Go Farm Hemp and Canopy Growth did not immediately return requests for comment by Hemp Industry Daily. Canopy said in its complaint that Go Farm Hemp treated a $12 million advance like a free bank account instead of using the money to buy land and equipment for hemp cultivation. You see what I mean? They're making a pretty good argument, especially what Go Farm Hemp says back. The two companies also sniped over growing acumen. Canopy said that Go Farm Hemp did not possess the skill, knowledge, or necessary experience to farm over 1,000 acres of hemp, and that it fraudulently blamed a poor harvest on hail, grasshoppers, and biblical rain. Go Farm Hemp said at all times used reasonable cultivation practices. Reasonable cultivation practices, that's the best you got as an argument? Canopy also seeks undisclosed punitive damages claiming fraud. Canopy argued that a seed-filled crop would help Go Farm Hemp sell seeds and that the hemp producer offered to minimize male plants through the use of feminized seeds and proper daily sorting of males, but failed to follow through. Go Farm Hemp said in its lawsuit that Canopy harassed Go Farm and interfered with Go Farm's performance by trespassing and threatening trespass on various farms. Canopy Growth has a different story, saying that Go Farm Hemp remedy efforts difficult as it blocked Canopy Growth from entering the fields with its own crews to remove the rogue males. Interesting. The complaint adds that Go Farm Hemp made an offer in August to settle the dispute that Canopy did not accept. Canopy trades on the New York Stock Exchange as CGC and the Toronto Stock Exchange as Weed. Go Farm Hemp is a privately held company. Just for those of you that don't know that. All right. We got 4 more articles, guys. For those of you that stuck around, thank you very much. Acquisitions to spur growth. Sailed Air acquired automated packaging systems during the June end quarter. This acquisition will strengthen its portfolio and drive growth in e-commerce, fulfillment, and food packaging markets. The buyout of AFP Inc. expanded Sailed Air's protective packaging solutions in the electronics, transportation, and industrial markets with custom-engineered applications. The company has also acquired Fagerdala to leverage its manufacturing footprint in Asia, expertise in foam manufacturing and fabrication, and commercial organization to improve sales in the consumer electronics, medical equipment and devices, automotive, temperature assurance, and e-commerce fulfillment sectors. AFP and Fagerdala, I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce that one well. Fagerdala, that's how it looks to me, align well with the ship-in-own container, or SIOC, trend in e-commerce. This trend is transforming e-commerce packaging as more distributors want manufacturers to help their primary packaging parcel ready. To have their primary packaging parcel ready. Poised well for the long run. So, Sailed Air's top line will be supported by enhanced demand for its core product portfolio, recently introduced innovations, strong fresh food markets, and e-commerce activities. The company is witnessing increasing demand for essential and high-performance packaging solutions that extend shelf life, reduce waste, and drive customer productivity. Furthermore, ongoing momentum in high-growth geographies such as Brazil, Russia, China, and Southeast Asia will continue as demand increases for packaged proteins and convenience meals. Alrighty then, next article. Okay, ExxonMobil had 2 explosions, guys. Pretty crazy at their Mosmoran plant in Fife. So, it is understood that blasts happened in 2 separate occasions in 2 different boilers in August. The blasts occurred as pipes became overpressurized and burst, and there were no flames. Interesting. A health and safety executive spokesman said an investigation in 2 explosions at the plant was currently ongoing. The plant was temporarily shut down for repairs on the 12th of August and will remain closed until at least November. ExxonMobil said at the time that 2 of the other plant's 3 boilers had failed, but made no mention of an explosion. The firm had since announced its plans to spend not sure what money value that is, but that improving the reliability of the plant. Mistrust and fear. Linda Holt of Mosmoran Action Group said an HSC official had described the incident as a catastrophic breakdown at a working group meeting earlier. Ms. Holt said she was shocked to learn that the 2 boiler breakdowns in August were both accompanied by explosions. She added, "We were also told that neither HSE nor Exxon had so far identified the cause. Rumors have been circulating locally that the boilers exploded, and HSC's confirmation makes a mockery of ExxonMobil's communication strategy. For years, local communities have lived with the fear of an accident at the plant, trying to hide explosions behind an announcement of so-and-so investment will only exacerbate local mistrust and fear." So will only increase local mistrust and fear. They try to be all, fancy with these big words. In July, the plant was issued with an improvement notice over the risk of an explosion. At the time, the HSE said ExxonMobil had failed to take all measures necessary to reduce the risk of firebox explosion from furnaces. The firebox is an area in the plant's furnaces where fuel is burnt. Stuart Neal, External Affairs Manager for ExxonMobil, said, "We are concerned that comments have been made publicly on an ongoing regulatory investigation. It would be inappropriate for ExxonMobil to comment until the HSE's investigation and our own have been completed." Leslie Laird, MP for Kirkcaldy and Coden Beath, said, "Because of the investigation, our discussion was limited in scope, but it was clear these were very serious incidents and lines of inquiry are complex, particularly in terms of the sequencing of events." HSE confirmed no one has been hurt in either boiler incident, both of which were caused by a critical buildup of pressure in the units. At least nobody got hurt. I am sorry I was messing up so many of those words, guys. I didn't read the full article and I wasn't prepared for some of those words. All right, so everyone knows who this guy is, right? Russell Wilson. All right, so Nike has acquired TraceMe, the Seattle startup co-founded by Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson and backed by investors including Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, YouTube founder Chad Hurley, Alibaba co-founder Joe Taisai, and Seattle-based Madrona Venture Group. That's a lot of freaking investors, huh? So, Nike confirmed the deal in a statement sent to GeekWire. Nike Inc. has acquired TraceMe to supplement the company's content strategy on Nike-owned platforms. Okay, I was about to say, there's got to be more to read. TraceMe launched back in 2017, spinned out of Seattle startup studio pioneer Square Labs. The company aimed to connect celebrities with superfans through its app via behind-the-scenes content. But TraceMe pivoted late last year, laying off staff, shutting down its app, and closing a Los Angeles office as it shifted focus to a new idea called Tally, a sports prediction app. Wilson touted Tally during the Super Bowl in February, and teams such as the LA Rams, Portland Trail Blazers, and St. Louis Blues used the app. Nike was interested in the original TraceMe technology, sources told GeekWire. It's unclear what will happen to Tally or how Nike plans to use TraceMe. The TraceMe team, which is less than 15 people, will join Nike Seattle. Several TraceMe employees, including CEO Jason Lee Keenan, changed their job titles on LinkedIn Friday. Lee Keenan, co-founder of TraceMe and a former Hulu and Zulily executive, lists this on his profile. Lead Nike Seattle office. A phenomenal group of digital product design and engineering teammates dedicated to building technology that supports Nike's vision of making sport a daily habit. Other TraceMe employees who now list Nike as their employer include senior software engineer Vlad Lekup, director of engineering Duok Nguyen. I know this word. I just don't remember how to pronounce it. I think it's Nguyen though. Director of product Trevin Chow and director of digital products design Sophie Odo. Nike COO Eric Sprunk, speaking at the 2015 GeekWire Summit, said that the company was interested in opening a Seattle area engineering center. There are more than 130 engineering outposts set up by out-of-town companies in the Seattle region that are tapping into the rich technical talent base in the area. Lee Keenan previously said TraceMe overestimated the addressable market for its original celebrity app. It will also not it was also not able to differentiate enough from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and other large social media platforms. So, Nike's digital push. While Nike originally started as a shoe and apparel maker, the Bayverton Ori-based corporation is becoming a tech company in many ways, investing heavily in tech and digital initiatives such as its consumer direct offense strategy and its Nike app. The company's shares hit an all-time high last month, in part due to a stronger e-commerce arm. Nike's digital business was up 42% in the most recent quarter, driven by mobile experiences as the company saw overall revenue increase 7% to $10.7 billion. The phrase digital was mentioned more than 40 times on the company's earnings call last month. That's probably good to hear. While products are usually the first to grab the attention of our consumers, we deepen those relationships through the power of digital, Nike CEO Mark Parker said on the call. To do that, we're investing in 3 areas. We're building industry-leading personal experiences, we're quickly ramping up our back-end capabilities to capture more of that demand, and the final critical piece is to create scale through our own channels and with our partners. Nike also began selling products on Amazon in 2017. Parker last month said the partnership with Amazon has gone well. Nike is focusing on building out its Nike Plus membership program that helps build one-to-one digital relationships with customers and is rolling out a new subscription program for kids. Wonder what that's going to be for. The company is also developing self-lacing shoes, that's awesome, and high-tech stores. Nike in August bought Selec, a Boston-based predictive analytics company. Last year, it acquired Zodiac, a consumer data analytics startup, and in 2016, it bought Virgin Mega, a digital design studio. The company hasn't made other tech startup acquisitions in recent years. Nike in 2017 debuted an app called SNKRS, using augmented reality and a Pokemon Go style scavenger hunt to rethink how customers find and buy limited edition shoes. That's definitely creative. All right. This is not my best video, guys. I apologize for not pronouncing all these words correctly, but I'm trying. That's what matters, right? AT&T to sell Puerto Rico business as it looks to pay down debt. I like to hear that. AT&T has agreed to sell its Puerto Rican and U.S. Virgin Islands businesses to Liberty Latin America for $1.95 billion in cash, allowing the telecommunications giant to shave its debt load and move closer to repurchasing shares. AT&T's operation in Puerto Rico provides cellular, landline, and internet connections. It had 1.1 million. Okay. Anyways. So, as part of the deal, about 1,300 AT&T employees will be transferred to Liberty Latin America. The two companies said they expect the deal to close within 6 to 9 months. The Wall Street Journal earlier Wednesday reported the companies had agreed to a deal. Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands account for a small sliver of AT&T's domestic operations, but shedding the unit will help it work down a large debt load accumulated through its $80 billion plus acquisition of Time Warner last year. The deal signals progress on AT&T's goal of selling non-core assets, something activist investor Elliott Management Corp., which recently disclosed a stake in the company, is also pushing. AT&T has sold its stake in streaming service Hulu. On Wednesday, AT&T said the deal brings more than $11 billion, the amount of money it will have raised from asset sales this year. That's good to hear. The company said it expects to return to repurchasing shares in the fourth quarter along with debt reduction. Okay, AT&T. Liberty is already the biggest pay TV and broadband provider on the island. Cable tycoon John Malone, who holds a 25.5% voting stake in Liberty Latin America, and Liberty Latin America's CEO Balin Nair have told investors they would like to expand in the region through disciplined mergers and acquisitions. Disciplined mergers. I've never heard of that together like that. That's interesting. You're refraining from mergers until it's the right one. AT&T has been looking to sell the Puerto Rico business for months and initially sought a valuation closer to $3 billion, according to people familiar with the matter. Liberty plans to finance the cash deal in large part by raising debt against the combined operation. AT&T originally entered Puerto Rico in 2009 after it acquired Centennial Communications Corp., a rural telecom company with a large share of revenue from the island, for under $1 billion. The complexity of the Puerto Rico unit slowed negotiations. Thousands of residents of the Commonwealth spend several months out of the year on the U.S. mainland, for example, which made difficult the job of counting subscribers. Sorry about that. According to another person familiar with the matter, the island also was heavily damaged in 2017 by Hurricane Maria. Okay. By Hurricane Maria. That is it, though, guys. As you can see, 10 stocks is a lot harder for me than 5 stocks. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button. I will have another one of these tomorrow, as you already know. And I will have my next CEO video post tomorrow morning, so make sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, Feed You Information, out.